Okay, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video and another edition of Thomas's race reviews. So if you guys are unaware, or for any of my new viewers, this series is basically where I go back and watch some of my old races and give my judgment on what I was thinking during them, what happened during them, and where I could have improved and where I did, really well, because I love flattering myself. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. We're going to be reacting to a Porsche Cup race I did about 2 days ago in the rain. Porsche Cup 992 GT3, I think they're called, around the Red Bull Ring. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so here we are for the qualifying lap of the race. So I'm going to play it here, and I'm just going to turn it down slightly. So into turn one was very nice. Be careful because of the wet. I had to pick different lines because of the rain. The straights were okay as we came out of turn one. As you can see, kicking up a whole heap of spray on the way up under the blue banner. This hairpin was quite tricky. I had to brake incredibly early as to not lock up, and then miss the apex slightly on the way in and then on the way out. Then as we came out of the corner, I had to keep all the way to the right here because of the water, and you had to avoid as many of the curves as you possibly could. See, keeping well off the curve there, and down into the corner. Even got a little twitch as we just saw. And out of the corner, still keeping clear of the curves. And we followed the kink. Make sure we didn't get too close to the grass. There, I touched the curve there, and we just saw with the inputs there was a big slide on the way through. Once again, I actually could have used that curve a fair bit, although it unsettled the car slightly, as that one was relatively flat and didn't do too much harm. That curve was okay as well, as long as I didn't get all four wheels on the curb. And then as we rised over the crest, this is quite a blind corner on the way in. Through we go there, and then out again into the final corner. Just dipped it in relatively nice, avoiding that curve because we can see the huge puddle there, and to the line. And I do believe we are just going to check the positions here. But yes, so it was not P3, that went on a bit more, but it was just here, P1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, P7 after the qualifying lap, because if I skip on, we had a little spin down into turn 4 on our second lap, which sort of ruined it. As I locked up, and then got that slide on, which I did recover, but didn't give it to me, as I lost a lot of time. And then we can go and check just here for this final bit, but yeah, I got on the curve, and that really ruined my lap. And then I thought I had more time, but I got lost. Actually ended up just completely in the infield and totally lost. so we were starting 7th. The car in 6th decided to not join us on the grid and started from the pit lane just here. We can see him, but I'm going to play it now. Now I will say I had an absolutely electric start. So here we are off the line. Car immediately slow here. We cut across with no one there. We ended up going 4 wide briefly before I then cut back in, and there was a tiny bit of contact just there on the inside, and I ended up cutting the corner because I didn't realise how much space I had. But as we came out of turn 1, I was sitting in 4th, and I'm like, we're doing pretty well considering the rank I am in this race. I was the number 14 car. But as we came up under the banner, I was just here, and I was still behind. I didn't decide to go for the move, but I do remember we were briefly P3, but out of the corner we went. As this guy came alongside us, and I thought, I won't try and fight this one too hard because of the pace differences in qualifying. But he came all the way to the left, to the right, I mean, under the banner, and he got up the inside before he actually got a bad exit, as we see here. I came back at him, and so I went in the slipstream He broke incredibly early, and I just thought, let's just have a go up the inside. And there we are. Absolutely beautiful move. Up the inside. And just holding that place here. But yeah, so that was the first lap. I know it wasn't the whole first lap, but that was what the interesting parts were. So I will now skip ahead. Okay, so here we have the next bit of the race. So this is on lap 2, coming up to the hairpin. But this is the first part where I knew where this race was going to be hard, because we can see we had a big snap of oversteer there on the way into the corner, and I nearly lost it completely. But that was an important bit of the race, because I knew that this track was not going to dry up, and that I was going to have to be really careful and just take my time with everything. Okay, so here we have our first proper bit of racing of the race. So this was down on lap 3, coming into the last 2 corners. Riding on board with my car. We had a car come up on the inside, and he really went for the move, but pushed me off, like, completely, actually. Before I had to come back on and sort of forfeit the place. We'll go back so we can see that from a different camera angle. But yeah, so it wasn't the cleanest bit of racing from either side. But see, we come through here, so yeah, just pushing me straight off the road. And then he tried to leave me the space, but I got all out of shape on the curb and had to tuck in behind. But this battle wasn't just over yet. As we came back onto the straight, I was actually right behind, and I was sort of looking for a move. But as I went for the move, the guy behind, he decided to pull out, go up the inside, and then take that place off. And I'm thinking, 2 places in 1 corner isn't spectacular. But then, just to add insult to injury, we got overtaken by this final car here, the number 2 car, who roared straight past and pretty easily took the place from us. As up the inside, around the outside he goes, and that was, yeah, 3 places lost in basically in the space of half a lap. Okay, so after being in that position for a few laps, so we made our way onto lap 5 here, where we can see, so the what's it called, the turquoise, blue, yellow, and white car, who was the final car to overtake us, actually made a mistake coming into the left-hander of turn 5. So we can see here, getting on that curb and sliding off just like I did at the end of qualifying, and that gave us a position or 2 as through we go. We can see him, and then through we go there as well. So that brought us back up a position. That put us in P6. Okay, so this is later on in that lap. So you can see, coming into the last corner, we were ahead of that car, but then the car in front also got on the curb, had a sort of half spin, but lost a lot of time to us as we came through the final corner. This gave us a really good opportunity to get alongside and hopefully in front. I tried to out-drag him down to turn 1. Didn't quite happen. We were practically alongside, but then he out-braked me into turn 1, and I had to concede that position just for the moment. But then I was thinking, right, I can use the slipstream and I can overtake him up the hill towards the hairpin, but it brought the turquoise car back into the fight, as he got a better exit out of turn 1. We went under the bridge, and I'm thinking, alright, I'll just have to concede this place once more. But actually, no, we went into the corner, and the car who went off in the final corner went off much more, locked up, and so we actually we neutralised our position in 6th place. But then, after going off the track, this car got an incredible run down the straight, but he didn't quite go for a move, and he backed out of it. Okay, and here was just a clear-cut overtake of, so that car that went off in the hairpin, here he is just coming back through nice and easy on us. We held the outside, but yeah, this car, as I realised throughout the race, he was just absolutely incredible on the brakes. Every time I tried to outbrake him, he braked just so much later, and that was him through there. Okay, so here we have quite an interesting battle between a few of the cars. So this is me just trailing the car behind, the car who overtook us. He went off in the hairpin again, trying to get a bit too confident on the brakes. We were alongside briefly before we shot away on the strawberry again, using all the track to get a better exit. I actually had the car behind, just having a little look up the inside, and not quite getting it as he pulled out of the slipstream. But as we tucked in, hopefully I thought I was just like settling back in, but the car went wide again, went off the track, and got very loose on the curb. I had to back out of the throttle, and tuck in behind. But I was around the outside. I'm thinking I might just be able to hang it around here. Touched the curb slightly. Was there, definitely. But then I didn't quite have the overlap. And he kept that place. Very lucky to keep that place. And we had to settle in behind him again. Okay, so here we have another battle. So this was at the end of that same lap, coming on to lap 8. I had the red and black car behind. He got a nice run out of the final corner. Allowed him to get alongside in the braking zone. And it was very nice up the inside. I left in the room, I was respectful. But he didn't quite get the run out of the corner. And I was able to just stay alongside his rear quarter panel. Didn't quite get the run, so I lifted off ever so slightly. And I tucked back into the slipstream. Hopefully get a better run into the hairpin. And I did that. I just thought, let's just be brave on the brakes. I kept my nose in there. And I was there the whole time, so I auto confused him a bit. He got on the curb. And that was us back through up into 7th place. Okay, yeah, now, and here we have, so that red and black car finally just getting past us up into the hairpin. So it took him another lap and a half to get another opportunity. And the first opportunity he got, he was straight up the inside and passing us into the hairpin. Okay, so here we have the only really unfortunate bit of the race. So this is us now on lap 13 with three laps to go, coming down into turn 4. You can see I was a bit too eager on the brakes, and this turned out to be my only spin of the race. So I spun off here into turn 4. Bit annoying. I will go back and just show us the cockpit view, which is right down here. So yeah, so getting a bit too eager on the brakes, and yeah, just sliding off. Nothing I could really do once the car was locking up. Then it took me forever to get the gears back in, but we got back onto the track, and we dropped 2 places because of that little spin. Okay, and the final thing I just want to have a look at here before we conclude this video is this battle we had on the last lap between me and the orange car. So we didn't see any of this guy during the race. I believe he started from the pit lane, but he caught up to us on the very last lap because he was rapid in the final sort of just 5 laps. But he caught up to us here on the run up to the hairpin at the top of the hill. He got alongside, and I was like, I want to fight this, but not too aggressively because I don't want to have an accident. And he got us into the hairpin, but he was super slow on the exit. I had to get out of it. But as we went down the straight, I'm thinking, I've probably lost this position because I'm not getting a nice run down to turn 4, and that was my only opportunity. I pulled out of the slipstream just to see just so I could see where I was going. And I noticed that once he overtook me, he was like incredibly slow in all the apexes. So I'm thinking, I've got a good run here. Maybe we could just have a go. It depends on how slow he is. And he was slow. So I just decided to absolutely launch one up the inside regardless of what would happen. And we made that move stick. And that re-handed us back into 9th place. I even got on the curb there. But that secured 9th place for us. I will go back and just show us the cockpit camera angle. And we can see here, so fully in the spray, switching to the inside, and really getting up the inside there into turn 5. And I was really proud of this move because I was like, it was a last ditch effort, and getting a big chunk of oversteer on the curb there, aquaplaning off. But that was it, and I will skip ahead to the finish where he was just sort of there until the end, but last corner he goes wide. I got on the curb, but it was a P9 finish, and honestly, probably the most fun I've had in an iRacing race, especially in a Porsche Cup race, in a very long time, and especially to finish 9th and have that much fun. I guess just shows how good the rain system on iRacing is. But that will do it for this video, everybody. Hopefully you all enjoyed watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, gives me feedback, gives me all of that good info to improve the content I make. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody. Have an awesome day.